Good evening, and welcome to the World of Football podcast. Please tune in for tonight's show, and here is what is to come. Enjoy.
The clock is ticking, but there's no time for me. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe, trying to protect your soul. We are here.
And if you weren't dancing to that, then where have you been? Good evening, everybody. Good evening. Welcome back to the Dugout Football channel. Welcome to the World of Football podcast in what is our 20th podcast. Can you believe that? I don't think anyone can. Joining me as usual are the regulars. Now, joining me to my left is a very happy man because he's just found out that Kepa Arrizabalaga is in goal for Chelsea tonight. Josh, how is your anger?
I prefer not to speak. If I speak, I'm in big trouble. I prefer not to speak about this topic.
Okay, moving swiftly on. To my right, I have Mr. Nathan Morgan, who will be pretty pleased with the Cardiff City victory over Coventry at the weekend. How are you doing?
Absolutely superb. Thanks for having me on once again, mate, and congrats on hitting 1K. Absolutely superb Q&A earlier as well, guys. Make sure you check that out too. But yeah, absolutely fantastic. Cardiff are winning. Life couldn't be better.
Absolutely, thank you everyone for 1K. I'll do my thank you very, very soon as well. Also joining us, and I think he's got Pepsi Max because I was asked this question earlier in my Q&A: Pepsi or Coke, and it's Pepsi Max all the way. Reece, how you doing, Reece?
There's no honest answer except Pepsi Max. Anybody that says Coke is deluded as fuck. I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. And also joining us from beyond the 90 LCFC is Neel. How you doing, Neel?
I'm good, mate. I was going to come with like party poppers and balloons and stuff, but nothing's open at the moment. So I was going to come with the party hat, and then I realised we haven't had a party in years and we don't have one. So I was going to come with a stupid party hat like on the top of my head. It would have been quite funny, but yeah, unfortunately we don't have one. But I'm here, mate. Well done, 1K. I've been saying it for a while, and I'm really happy for you, mate. So well done.
Yeah, thank you, everyone. Honestly, hitting 1K was absolutely surreal last week. I didn't think I would do it straight after the podcast, but that happened. So thank you very much to everyone who's obviously continued to support me, support the channel, and obviously support the podcast as well. It is just incidentally, I know people will obviously be knowing that West Ham are beating Sheffield United by 1-0. Declan Rice penalty as well, and I'm sure Josh will keep you updated with Chelsea after 8 o'clock. But let's start. What's up?
I'll let you know when Cap concedes 2 goals.
The 5th minute and the 10th minute of the first half. There you go.
Jordan Hyman, hey guys, what's up? Okay, Jordan, hope you're doing well. Boy is in HMS Pistol League. Foxes. Ham HD is in. Should have got me on to speak about Spurs. We will go on to Spurs. We will be coming on to the Premier League review very, very shortly. Original Gunner is in. Hit the like, everyone. Absolutely. Hell is in. Evening. Jamie's in. From London to Taiwan, says Ricky Swift. Editing skills are elite, Josh, says Thriller from Manila. So you're getting a lot of compliments about your editing. Original Gunner, hopefully Douglas will reach 2K subs in a few months. Hopefully. What a song I downloaded the last time you played it on here. Yeah. It's a cracking song. It's a cracking intro song as well. Brilliant stuff, says Jamie. Jade Exley is back on YouTube. Nice to see you all back. Yeah, it's nice to see you as well, Jade. 20 podcast episodes already. Geez, that's gone quick. Kipper and Goal, what's happened? Yeah, I know. I think Josh is still getting over the fact that Mendy has been dropped. So, drinking the same. Haha. Cocoa all day. Pepsi is diluted. Coke, says Ricky. Oh. I don't know about that.
False. That's false information. It's slander to Pepsi.
Yeah, it is indeed. And good evening to Shane O'Donnell. Right, let's start with the Premier League review of the week, and it is this one, I believe.
I hate you. And Liverpool are playing in Budapest tomorrow.
Yes. Budapest Pirate. Right, let's get to the Premier League review of the weekend. And I think there's only one place to really start, is at the Etihad, where Manchester City beat Spurs 3-0. And let's be honest, Spurs never laid a glove on Man City. Josh, where can we start with Spurs? I mean, never laid a glove on City. What is going on at Spurs?
Well, Mourinho put it down to the fact that Spurs did not played 120 minutes against Everton. He played near enough a full strength team, so he blamed the legs. Mourinho did his classic Jurgen Mourinho and passed the blame on to his next door neighbour, anyone but himself, and for the way he set the team. I think Mourinho is his own downfall. If you isolate Kane, Son is Son's only good when Kane's playing well. So if you isolate Kane, which Man City did extraordinarily well, the whole Tottenham Hotspur attack kind of just died down. I thought they were exceptional without Ruben Diaz. I think Mourinho's tactics are just slowly coming back to bite him in the ass. They're defensive, they're sluggish. There's no game plan on the ball. It's all individual talent. There's no tactics. It's all about defending. And he does not have the, you look at the defenders he has. Like David Sanchez got done by Gundogan. He got done on that fair goal tomorrow. Joe Rodon, who's he? Where did he come from?
That's controversial. That is controversial.
Tonio Raffaele, that guy is about as done as dog is centre back. You know, this is not a Jose Mourinho thing, but I also don't think Jose Mourinho's tactics are going to help Spurs in this shit way of form. That team's built to attack and constantly changing the team ain't going to get them anywhere.
Well, for your information, Joe Rodon came from Swansea, so obviously
he's shit, man. What was that?
He came from somewhere. He came from somewhere shit.
Yeah, obviously Spurs saw something in him. For sure. But yeah, Nathan, Mourinho's old tricks coming back to haunt him, isn't it?
Yeah, the Mourinho book of excuses came out once again. It's going to keep going this way, isn't it, really, guys? Let's be fair. But I don't know. It always happens with Mourinho. He goes forward a little bit. He has that period of playing well when he first gets into a club. And then he just brings this park the bus mentality, just not reluctant to go forward. And it just bites him in the bum. I think it's going to be like this for a while now, but he needs to get this defending sorted. I thought it was very poor. Yes, he is missing a good centre-back, you could say there, and it's not really his team, but come on. You should be doing so much better than what he is doing. I mean, you said it all with them isolating Kane and not getting it forward enough, but Mourinho's got to do something here, guys.
Yeah, I mean, Neil's smiling in the corner because he knows that Leicester did beat Spurs early on in the season. Are you seeing any difference in what Mourinho did at United to his days at Tottenham?
Not really. I mean, Mourinho doesn't have two ways of playing. He has one way. If that doesn't work, then that's it, to be honest. So Mourinho is not, to be fair, are we really surprised? A lot of us, I don't think anybody's really surprised that he can't really do anything. He's one of the same things. But back to I forgot what it's called, Josh's point. I think that Joe Rodon is a good player. I think Nathan will be able to tell you more about it than I can.
Yes.
But the problem is he went to the wrong team. He wants to be a young team that's going to train, like a Southampton would have been brilliant for him. An opportunity to get played in the first team, get Premier League games under his belt, and also to develop as a person. Mourinho doesn't work with young players. So it was kind of a stupid move for him, to be honest. I think if you give him a couple of years, he'll be a really good centre-back in the Premier League. However, it's not going to work at Tottenham because it doesn't fit anything that Mourinho needs or that Spurs need, to be perfectly honest. They need a centre-back, yeah, but they just got in a young guy. But Mourinho doesn't train young people. That's stupid, you know? So when it comes to 3-0, I think that it's a fair result, but you can't honestly say that anybody saw this not happening.
Yeah, Reece, are you actually surprised that Spurs went to Old Trafford and won, 6-1?
Yeah, because on their day, they're one of the best teams in the league. Like, on their day, they are. But they're inconsistent. They're an inconsistent team, and I'm surprised it's lasted such a short period of time for Mourinho's teams to falter. Normally, it's the following season. Like, it just shows that his effects are changing quickly. Defensively, discipline-wise, they're not good enough. It's not good enough as well. Like, they've got a good team, but the fact they rely heavily on two players says it all. Like, something's got to change. I disagree with that comment there as well, saying, Bale should start 8 games in a row. I'm like, for goodness sake, Bale can barely play 3 games in a row, let alone 8. And he's not exactly effective. He's not effective anymore, like Gareth Bale. Like, it was a wasted signing. They should never have bothered. And I disagree with another comment in there. Joe Rodon is not better than Victor Lindelof. Like, come on. There's comments and then there's that. I mean, he is not better than Lindelof. I mean, I know Lindelof can be a bit shit, but fuck off. I mean, Rodon is utter shite. Compared to Lindelof.
I'd say he needs time to develop, really. He's young,
but right now he's shite compared to Lindelof. Right now he is, but he's going to be a very good player. He's played the wrong team. Frankly, I don't think Southampton was the right choice either. He should have went to West Ham. I think West Ham are the more smarter option.
Seamus Moore's got a very good question here, and I'll ask all of you this in a oneer. Josh, will a team going for Kane in the summer maybe City?
I think he needs to leave first. He's, someone could correct me, but he is reaching his prime, very close to his prime. Kane needs to go somewhere. I think him and Haaland. I think Haaland's obviously probably more definite to leave Borussia Dortmund at the end of the season. Kane is a big question mark in terms of people could afford him. But honestly, I think Kane just needs to go. He isn't going to win anything at Spurs. He's not going to do well under Jose Mourinho. He'll just be wasting. If he stays, he'll be wasting next season. If Mourinho stays there, things will go downhill real fast. I don't think City will go for him. I think City's going to go for Haaland. I think Pep's Guardiola's eyes are all over that. I don't know where Kane could go, but Kane just needs to find somewhere. He does need to find somewhere.
Nathan?
I'm half and half on it. I really do think he's going to end up staying because I can't see a team sort of going for him with his injury issues and sort of paying his wages and everything. But I don't know. I really don't know somehow. I can see teams poaching for him, but I don't think Spurs will sell it to a Premier League rival. So if he's going to leave, the club, it's going to be somewhere abroad.
Interesting, Reece.
Yeah, I agree. I don't see Man City buying him. Frankly, Man City would have to cough up nearly 200 million for Harry Kane because Tottenham won't demand anything. Harry Kane.
Oh yeah.
I could not care less about Harry Kane. If you ask me which striker's better, I would say Jamie Vardy every time. But like Harry Kane, there's no way Spurs would sell him to a Premier League rival. They've already done that with Berbatov and they regretted it years ago. They're not going to do it again. And I don't see them selling him for anything less than 150 to 200 million because he's that quoted value. Plus, he's entering these prime years of his career, regardless of his injuries. He's 26 years old. He's nearly 27. And he is tipped to be, apparently, the next Alan Shearer. So that probably means no trophies, just goals. Goals, no fights. I think he's going to end up going abroad. I think he's going to end up at Real Madrid in the next couple of years, to be honest.
Good choice.
I think he'll replace Benzema, to be honest.
Well, here's one thing I actually forgot. Harry Kane did go to Leicester on loan from Spurs. So, Neel, can you see?
He also played for Norwich as well, I think.
And he was shit.
Something like that. Can you see Harry Kane leaving Spurs this summer?
It's a weird one. I can agree that he probably should leave, but where's he going to go? Because again, I can see he's quite an English striker. He will work, but part of me realizes that obviously he looked up and he was around the same age and he was there when what's it called? What's his face? Gareth Bale was there and he saw how he was treated. And that's going to be he probably looked up to him quite a lot as this player's come into the first team, went over to Spain and kind of got treated like crap and then came out. Mm-hmm. So he's probably looking at that going, I don't really want to go abroad. He won't go to German league. He won't go to the Italian league. He's good enough for that, but I just can't see him. It's weird. I can't see him. It's weird because he's kind of screwed no matter where he goes. He obviously was going to stay there because of Mourinho. He's going to win the trophy, and that's what so much Tottenham wanted. Obviously, it's not happening. He's going to go anywhere else. I mean, he can go City. Again, even City are going, that's too much money. We're not going to pay that. Yeah. And they'd rather for that won't even go after Messi as well. That's a better business investment as well to go after Messi than going after Kane. And so I think he's screwed no matter what, to be honest. And I kind of feel a little bit sorry for him. But in terms of his in terms of his injury record, it isn't great. However, the guy is still putting in goals like no tomorrow. And again, he's hitting the prime of his career now, and he won't have a career too much longer. But just back to Ant's point in terms of Kane. When we got him, we were like, "There's nothing to shout about. There's no play to shout about." But I honestly can't believe that's the same player that came to us. Absolutely amazing how his development. We thought when we got rid of him, we thought, well, we won't see him again. And then we saw him in Premier League, and he's playing this amazing football. We're going, are you sure this is the same dude you sent to us? Because, I mean, he could have got into the Premier League earlier, but he came on against Watford and he was just running around like a headless chicken. We were like, oh, this guy's not really doing anything. So, I mean, his development has been amazing since he came from us, but it is funny. I think Ant's got a few good comments as well.
Yeah. Nathan, there's a good question for you. Jade says, got a great question for Nathan. If you didn't support Cardiff, who would you support and why?
Swansea.
Good question. Well, all I can say is because I live east of Bridgend, it can't be Swansea. Anyway, if you're from that side of Wales, it's a City thing. It's a lot off the pitch than on the pitch, so it absolutely wouldn't be Swansea. I don't like Newport either. Just the place I'm not a big fan of. It would have to be my actual local club, Barrytown United. Either that or be neutral. So there's your answer.
Or you support Man United like a normal human being.
My God, my bird is going to the head. Oh my
I think
God.
I'd have to go for Doug and go Liverpool, I reckon.
Right.
Josh is.
There's plenty of space on our blue side if you need any, mate. We've got the same colours here.
True, that's a good point, Mike. We've had some very good matches against you as well, so that could be a good option.
Harry Kane is a poor man's Benteke. Yeah.
That wasn't
There
part
he
of the plan. Hit the wrong button.
Yeah. Has Roy gone yet?
We'll get on to that later.
From what I'm hearing, no, not yet. Poor man Benteke. Savage and Manchester United. So we go away from Spurs and we talk about Manchester City now. It's theirs to lose now, isn't it, Nathan? I mean, another great performance. Gundogan is just a completely different player this season.
He is absolutely on fire. He's playing like the best midfielder I've ever seen in my life. Some great goals, just playing so well recently. And honestly, if Man City slip this now, this will be the biggest bottle job of all time. With the position they're in and the team just stumbling off and around them, they sort of take it in turns. Man United stumble one week, then Liverpool have their injury problems. I hope not, but you might have Leicester stumbling as well. I really do want them to get top four, but yeah, it's for them to lose now.
Yeah,
I don't think
Josh,
they'll have injuries either because there's a lot of they have good squad depth there as well. So I think they've got it this year.
Yeah. Actually, Shane O'Donnell's asked a really good question, and I think this is going to get us all thinking. I was just about to say that. Who will win the PFA Player of the Year? I think it will be Ilkay Gundogan. No, Shane. Remember when Virgil van Dijk came into Liverpool? He won the PFA Player of the Year. I think Diaz is that same player that he's been at City. The impact he has had since his came in at City, he's improved that defence more end than not. So I think it could be Ruben Diaz. Josh, do you agree with that?
Yes, Ruben Diaz. I think Ruben Diaz has came in and made a big difference. But I do think Pep Guardiola's tactical system has improved because Laporte and Stones were exceptional. I fought against Spurs as well. They exited the counter-attack exceptionally well. But I think Ruben Diaz probably has been signed over the summer. He's young. He came in. He's had no adaptation to the Premier League. He fitted into that system like no tomorrow. I think he's an absolutely exceptional centre-back for the season so far.
Yeah, I'm not going to ask Reece because he just agreed with me about Ruben Diaz. Nathan,
well, I genuinely think it's Diaz. I don't see much else from it. I mean, Gundogan's had a good season, but I just think exactly what Diaz has done, superb. If Diaz doesn't get it and it goes to somebody else, I'll be quite astounded by it. I think it just shows how pathetic the PFA are if it doesn't go to him, to be honest.
Yeah.
But when's the last time that a defender, apart from Van Dijk, won Player of the Year? It's been a long while. It's normally a striker.
Vidic is the last one, I think.
Yeah, that was a while ago.
Vidic won. Gosh,
Vidic won in 09. Vidic won in 09. I think 2011 as well.
Okay.
Yeah,
in a while then.
That's interesting. Nathan, do you think Ruben Diaz is a shoe-in for Player of the Year?
Yeah, it's going to be either him or Gundogan, I reckon, especially for Gundogan in the second half of the season, really. But it's either going to be a Man City player with the way they've been playing this season, and I think it's about time another defender wins it. I'm going to go for Ruben Diaz.
Interesting. This has to be said. Harvey Barnes needs to be in conversation for Young Player of the Year, but we'll go to a top 6 player. We'll get overlooked. I will be amazed if Phil Foden does not win the Young Player of the Year. I'm going to say that now.
Him or Barnes, definitely.
I don't think Foden...
Grealish. Surely Grealish deserves a shout as well.
He's like
that's a good point.
That's the problem.
I don't think Foden...
He's really old.
I don't think Foden is... I don't think he's been the best youngster all year. I think Barnes has been better than Foden, to be honest. I mean, Foden scored some important goals and he's got some assists, but frankly, it's the team that's overall been better, whereas Barnes has had to step up a lot this year for Leicester, when frankly, at his age, he shouldn't have to step up so early. He should be gradually getting better and better, but he's done more for me than I think Foden has. So I would say he deserves the award.
The thing is, I think he has actually outshone Mane this season, and you can quite clearly see it. Let's get on to the Leicester City game, because well done, Neel. You've finally got a victory over us for the first time since 2017. What did you make of your performance at the weekend? Because I have to say that second half was turned on 7 minutes of absolute madness.
Yeah, we were actually not great for a long period of that game. Brendan Rodgers gets intimidated by Liverpool, and you can tell from the tactics the play. Well, we weren't good enough for 70 minutes of the game. However, you let one goal in, and this has been prime example of Leicester all this season. You get the first goal, the second, and the third, and the fourth comes for the most part. So it shouldn't be like that. I'm glad it is like that, but Liverpool were brilliant for some spells of it, but there was you didn't trouble Schmeichel enough. I can remember one outstanding save he made with that left hand that was just unbelievable.
Oh, the Firmino one.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. There wasn't that many opportunities where Schmeichel was troubled. No. Midfield, you're winning it a little bit more. I think obviously the injury to Milner didn't help, but he was running it in the 17 minutes that he was playing. But the actual, when it comes to playing football, Liverpool, and we get credited, say we were really good. We were really good for the last 15 minutes where we went for it, but it should have not taken that long. But do you know what? Well, obviously it's a good result, 3-1. We were absolutely buzzing. I was going to say we're going to get a 1-1 draw out of it, to be perfectly honest with you, but I'm really happy with the result, and hopefully, because at the moment I think we're looking at 46. I think you're on 40 points. We're on 46. I couldn't be happier, mate. Get that 36 position, especially since Man United drew. We're on the same points as them, and also 3 goal difference. So, and also Reece and Nathan will actually agree with me. I actually had 2 on Leicester City.
You did indeed.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. You said Leicester were going to win that game.
I said Leicester were going to win that game because there was just something about that game where I just thought that you were going to win, and fair play to you. And I thought one player that really stood out for me was a Marty at right back. I mean, Pereira's had to bloom and be moved to left back, and then a Marty comes in his first game, and in all honesty, he was amazing. I thought he was fantastic for Leicester. I thought Pereira was fantastic as well at left back. I thought Ndidi had a very good game as well. So, I'm probably just picking up things what Anthony said in his post match. Sorry, Anthony, but no, fair play to Leicester, and it is a big win. Crystal Palace 0, Burnley 3. Now, who would have predicted this one? I predicted the Burnley win. Not going to lie, but Nathan, Burnley scoring 3 goals away from home. That doesn't happen very often.
I don't think it's ever happened before. I mean, I don't think I've ever seen it where Burnley have scored more than 1 away. Usually they're just completely dreadful, and it's only like narrow 1-0 victories, and they just completely lock up at the back. But Palace, they didn't really show me anything in that one. They looked lost in it, and I think they just need to stabilise until the end of the season. I will get onto what I think, because we are going to discuss managers towards the end of this podcast. But yeah, I think there's going to be an overhaul in the summer, and there really needs to be. Otherwise I think Palace is just going to keep going down and downhill, and then it'll probably lead to Zaha leaving as well if they're not careful. But it just goes to show how vulnerable they could be. They sort of are in midfield, and they need to improve towards the back as well.
Josh, is this a surprise?
Who would take Zaha, to be honest? As in,
Arsenal.
But Arsenal, he's been to a big club. He's done it with Man United. He's
never given
Man United. So he won't do it again.
He was never given a chance at United, no. He was never given a fair opportunity. Yeah. That's the only thing. I think if he went to Arsenal now, he would get in that team like that.
He would.
What if Sancho left? What if Sancho left Dortmund and maybe Zaha replaces him?
I don't think he's a Marco Rose type cheap plug.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he's a.
And with the financial issue as well, they're not going to be able to afford him.
Oh yeah.
I don't think.
Yeah. They'll look amongst the league for signings. Like Neuhaus going to be their first signing. I expect that to happen as soon as they sell someone. He'll come in from Mönchengladbach. So I don't see much happening. I don't think Zaha would go to Dortmund.
Yeah, don't make me even more worse than I already am today, because I saw that Marco Rose announcement came out, and I was literally watching something, and then all of a sudden the Athletic was like, "Oh, Marco Rose is to be new Borussia Dortmund manager," and I'm like, "Reece has got it right again." But Josh, I mean, Burnley winning 3-0 is a bit of a shock anyway. But is that the shock result for the week for you?
The fact that Burnley actually turned into prime Barcelona, there was no long balls, there was no crosses into the park. They actually played Crystal Palace off the park. Some of the football Burnley played was actually really, really good. And Burnley under Sean Dyche, especially, I think Burnley going forward are only going to get better. He's got the backing, he's got the money now, they've got the new owners. So this Burnley team's only going to get better. And I think over the next couple of seasons, you might see Burnley transition to more of an attacking team. That Sean Dyche is able to bring in more players. So I don't think it's a shock, because Crystal Palace at the moment look absolutely hopeless. They just have, especially without Zaha, there's no game plan without Zaha. And Burnley are a team that is well drilled, knows exactly what they're going to do, and Sean Dyche is letting them get a bit of freedom now. So, nope, I'm not surprised.
Yeah, I mean, I was very impressed with that, and Boya said it here. Lowton unleashing his inner Roberto Carlos. That was a fantastic, well-worked move. And to be honest, like I did not see anyone actually speaking about that goal as well. Yeah. But because of the passing movement, it was really, really good. Now, other games, Brighton 0, Aston Villa 0. I have to say, it's another result where Brighton can basically say, how on earth have we not won that game? But that game was all about Emi Martinez. What a performance from him yet again. I have to say, Martinez has been one of the signings of the summer for Aston Villa. Goalkeeper-wise, like I know they had obviously like goalkeeping problems last season, and I know Martinez has made mistakes as well, but Martinez has been absolutely fantastic for Aston Villa. So yeah, a bit of a sort of a. It wasn't really a drab 0-0 because Brighton absolutely battered Aston Villa. But yeah, 0-0 draw. Southampton 1, Wolves 2. Now, obviously, Southampton did beat Wolves in the FA Cup, but this game was all about Neto. Has anyone seen Neto's goal?
Yes,
phenomenal.
Absolutely wonderful goal.
He was doing bits against Leicester for the 0-0, and he just looked unplayable at times. So I can imagine he was if he's anything like he was then, it's insane, brilliant.
He's going to be on the radar for some clubs soon that are above level of Wolves. I can see it. I genuinely think he's going to be on that radar. Depends on who goes in for him, but he's a good player. He's someone that deserves better than Wolves.
Him and Podence as well. Like people who were talking about Adama Traore last season and the season before. Podence and Neto have been fantastic. So a very, very good win for Wolves.
I'm probably going to get slaughtered in the chat, but I don't rate Traore at all.
Yeah, he blows hot and cold.
I don't either.
All he is, he's just a Hulk. Like, he's just a powerful winger, but he's got no end product. He doesn't get any. He very rarely gets any assists. He doesn't even score. I can understand why he played wing back, but a winger should be able to score goals and create. All he does is bomb forward like a train, and he's got the strength on him to do something, but he's got nothing. That's why I prefer Podence in that squad. I think Podence and Neto will get more out of Wolves goals wise than Traore does, and I think that wing back who's absolutely phenomenal, that Johnny. He's brilliant for them as well, but he's not had much of a season as well because I think he had an injury as well at the start of the season. Semedo is utter shite. Like, I don't know why.
Semedo's all right. I think he's going to take time, but I think he'll be all right. From what I'm hearing from Wolves fan as well, he's getting there. But again, going from Barcelona to the Premier League, some players just take ages to bed in. But I think Semedo will come good.
I agree with that comment. Really. I agree with that comment. Adama's pace and nothing else.
I agree. Yeah, he has a lot to work on. Like I don't know why Barcelona signed him in the first place because I watched him a few times for Barcelona and he didn't really do anything at right back. So I can understand why a central midfielder in Sergio Roberto is being playing over him at right back. at the time, and obviously they sold him for like 37 million. So Barcelona practically robbed Wolves blind. Yeah,
I'd
exactly.
say that's a great comment. That's a great comment. Chanel says, I don't rate him either. Even into Chanel, hope you're doing well. I don't rate him either. He's no better than Dan James. Podence is quality. He's going to be at a top team in the next few years. Yeah, absolutely.
No, Dan James is better than him, I think, because I've actually seen him going forward in Wales. Nothing completely different from Man United. I feel like Dan James does have an end product. He has quite a good shot on him. He can pass around well as well. He just needs time to develop that. And once he's had the years of development, he won't just be a pace merchant. And I've seen it before where he can actually shoot, score goals, and play lovely football as well. I really don't agree with that comment, unfortunately.
I think he could do business, but it will be you think, again, it might be another Southampton job.
Yes.
Because I always see them and I go, well, that's a good team they could fit into. And he'll get game time and he will be a good player overall. Yeah,
absolutely. I think he worked well under Hasenhüttl as well, and a manager like that who brings the young players through. But I just think he left Swansea at the wrong time. He should have gone to Leeds, and I think it was quite disgraceful how that move didn't go through.
Another game that has gone the way of Fulham this weekend. Everton 0, Fulham 2. Now, if you're getting beat by someone who was in the documentary Sunderland Till I Die, you deserve to be getting beat. Josh Maja double beats Everton by 2-0. I mean, Reece, it's another cracking result for Fulham, but people are going to ask, where's this been all season?
Exactly where I told you it was coming. And apparently and everyone on this thing said Scott Parker was going to get sacked. Let me just hear those apologies right now. Because I told you it wasn't going to happen. Like, it just takes time. I mean, Fulham are literally the psychos of sacking. Like, if there's one thing you can associate with Fulham, it's sacking managers. But they've taken their time with Parker, and he's actually done very well.
Yeah.
And they're going to keep climbing. They're going to survive this season. Why did I say stadium? What the fuck? Too much Pepsi Max today. They're going to survive this season. Like, they will generally survive. And Burnley are still going down.
Interesting.
They're only 7 points off Newcastle now, and like we were saying a couple of weeks ago that Newcastle look like they've got themselves away from it, but Fulham, I mean, if they were to beat Burnley, you would probably expect Chelsea to beat Newcastle this evening, barring a Kepa calamity. If they beat Fulham, they'd be only 4 points behind Newcastle. That would be very, very interesting indeed. But I tell you, one team that games are not dull and boring is Leeds United. I mean, okay, they concede goals, but my goodness me, they managed to get back to 4-2 against Arsenal. I mean, Nathan, did you see Arsenal beating Leeds 4-2 coming? Honestly, I didn't.
I didn't either. I thought it was going to be a high scoreline. I didn't think Leeds would offer anything going forward, and Arsenal would just absolutely overload that really weak defence. And went with those goals from Aubameyang and where he scored his hat-trick, they were all mistakes pretty much from the Leeds defence. I know one was for a certain, but there's something up with that Leeds defence. Bielsa needs to sort it out. But coming back, they can really catch teams off guard, which is what I like to see. But yeah, they got to lock up at the back if they don't want this to happen again, because they are going to keep getting these heavy defeats where they do score goals, but it's not going to get them into a good position in the league.
Neel, do you think Leeds United are better away from home than they are at Elland Road?
I don't really know, to be honest. But with all this season, it's kind of, after speaking to the Roaring Peacock, Leeds fan channel, they were saying that the fact that the crowds aren't there has really helped them, because it can, when things, if, for example, if it's got 4-0, the crowd probably turns on them and they're probably not getting the next 2 goals. So I know it was away from home, but still, it's one of those things where if you go away, when you're at home, I don't know if it's just a Leicester perspective, but I think most teams are doing worse at home than they are away. So whoever's home form is the best is pretty much picking up the other points. So at the moment, Leeds are a decent team. I think there's been a lot of hype about Bielsa, and when he gets his tactics right, they are amazing to watch. When he gets it wrong, you need to have a backup option. We've seen this with Charlie Ranieri. firsthand. We won the league playing 4-4-2, and it took us literally until recently to finally get back up there. Again, I didn't expect to be back up there, but you can't just have one way of playing. We'll be all right for this season. Imagine what it's like next season when they go, "Oh, we'll find you out then. We know how to play. Sit back, on the counter." And what are you going to do? You're going to try and play the same game. You'll get demolished by teams. And
I was just going to say that they have to change their ways. Josh, would you agree? Do you think they have to change their ways next season?
If they don't, they're going down, because
Exactly.
I think it's hard to know, because I think if Norwich came up in the Championship, they're going straight back down again.
Norwich are gone.
Because I think I'm seeing very similar. I'm seeing very similarities between the way Norwich and Leeds are playing from when they came up, except Bielsa's just 10 times better than what Daniel Farkas, and also the Leeds have a better group of players. But if Bielsa,
I disagree with that.
But if Bielsa decides to play the same style next year, they will go down, because if you can keep conceding goals in the Premier League, it won't get you anywhere. Leeds have the quality to win games. They do have the quality to hammer teams, not to outplay teams on the pitch, on the ball itself. But defensively, it's the same in the NFL. Defense wins you championships, but defense also keeps you in the league and also wins you the league, as Man City improved. And if you look at Fulham defensively are starting to get better. They're starting to pick up results. So I think Leeds were lucky that they had a good start of the season where no team really knew how to play Bielsa. But as time goes on, people know how you stop this Leeds team. They will go down next season if Bielsa does not click in his head. Defense needs to change.
Yeah, absolutely. I've been speaking to, obviously, my good friend Carl Levy, and he agrees that they have to change their ways next season, because they're going to get found out. They're definitely going to get found out. LCFC Boya, their goalkeeper, is awful. He's been good this season, but that game against Arsenal, he was really, really bad. Really, really bad. I have left one game last, and it's I wouldn't say it's deliberate, but Reece, a really disappointing result for Manchester United. 1-1 with West Brom. Thoughts?
Terrible, disgusting, disgrace, scrap them, horrible, pathetic, weak, bullied, pathetic again, gutted. There's 10 ways to sum up how shite they all are.
Right. Can I just ask you a quick question, Doug? All right. This is just see before a ball was even kicked, Reece. See when you seen the team of Solskjaer started, where he was playing Martial out of position, playing Rashford out of position, playing Martial. He's done nothing all season, even on the wing or a striker. Playing two CDMs and then playing that Maguire and Lindelof before over Bayo and Tadebe, who were clearly on the bench. Did you have a bad feeling when you seen that he again was picking a starting 11 that was going to lack an attack and also just have no creativity in the midfield and struggle to defend at the back?
Before the game, I said United 2-0 win. As soon as I seen that lineup, I said United aren't winning this game. That was the wrong lineup, wrong decision. Centre-back pairing, Maguire needs to be dropped. Lindelof was at fault. Lindelof, he was bullied for that first goal. Frankly, it should have been a foul. Diagonal has clearly blocked his vision. He's had his hand on his face. I don't know why VAR did not come back for that. That's absolutely disgusting. It took us 44 minutes to have an effective shot on goal. That's not good enough either. They were playing sideways football. I honestly feel like it's 2015. I'm watching Louis van Gaal again. And I like Van Gaal as a manager, but I was seeing that again. That was just disgraceful.
Yeah.
He doesn't need to play McTominay and Fred in these sort of midfields. I don't know why he didn't play Van de Beek. You need that form of creativity against a low block team. I would have played Juan Mata. Why is he not getting a game? He would have been perfect for this game. That intelligence. This is why Solskjaer is going to get the sack. He is clear. It's the same thing over and over and over again. And honestly, God, I'm sick to death of it. I am sick to death of the same things creeping in. I can understand, with Neel and all that. He was his team was managed by fucking Klopp. Utter shite.
Yeah,
same thing. It was the same thing over and over. They had Craig Shakespeare. I mean, fair enough, he wasn't that good, but look what he did against Sevilla in the Champions League. he wasn't going to get past them, but at least he had a plan. Like, he actually done something, but it's the same things over and over, and it. Oh, moving.
Jeez.
Bayern Munich getting beat. You love to fucking see it.
Oh my goodness!
You stole my centre. You stole my centre back. You deserve it, pricks. So move back. Where were we?
Ditto to Man United as well. Same thing. 80 mil as well. Why is my camera
but that was different. We were robbed by Leicester. We were robbed 40 million quid.
80.
Nah, but we paid 40 million too much. Maguire wasn't even worth more than 40. Like, we're just going to leave that there.
Are we now going to start saying now that the Maguire Lindelof partnership has to end now?
It should have ended.
Yes.
The Maguire Lindelof partnership should have ended 6 months ago. It should have ended at the start of the season. It was third last season, but he should have realistically realised it's not going to work. They don't complement each other at all. They've had some good games, like the Liverpool game was very good. Like the 0-0 draw at Anfield, the 0-0 draw at Anfield, they played very well. But you could also say that Salah, Firmino, and Mane were absolutely terrible, and they were. They did nothing that whole game. So you can kind of say, well, here and there, but Maguire's weak. Lindelof is weak. Like they just don't complement each other very well, and the fact that Solskjaer continues to pick them as well is beyond a joke. Like,
does Maguire come to you as captain quality? Because I honestly don't see it at all. I think you need a new captain.
I don't know personally. I'm not the type of person who says you just scrap a captain. I've never been like that. I mean, Ashley Young used to captain Man United, for goodness sake, and he wasn't that good either. But at least he had some leadership quality. I don't see it. Chanel, you savage. I don't see a captain in Harry Maguire, but I do see he's got leadership qualities. He knows how to organise a defence. I will give him credit. He had a very good game against West Brom. He actually was quite good, but there's being good and then there's being world class, and that's why we missed out on Ruben Diaz, which was a mistake. We should have signed. Yep, I agree. I don't know why we didn't sign Upamecano. I'm pissed off at that. Like that is proper. That's proper pissed me off. Like we could have went and signed Koulibaly. That's another. Fair enough. He's going to be 30 in the summer. I don't care. At least he can command a defence, and he's got something Maguire lacks, which is pace. He has a ball-playing centre-back, and he's got more physicality. There are defenders in the league that we could sign, frankly, that would do a job. Frankly, we can go and sign Toby Alderweireld from Tottenham, and he would do a better job than Maguire. We would, but we're not going to, because Mourinho would tell us to piss off. I would honestly try and steal Soyuncu from Leicester. He's a far better centre-back. But that's that is
brave.
But I'm not going to wind up Neel here.
What happened?
But I'm not trying to wind up Neel here, but I'm just saying I would honestly take Soyuncu over Maguire. He's a far better defender. Fine.
I'll be 120 mil. Thank you very much.
You can shove that right. You can shove that right up your arse, mate.
You give me banter, mate. I'll give it you back.
But exactly.
We got 80 mil for Maguire. We'll take 120 for Soyuncu.
I got one more
question. It says it all really that what I didn't agree with is the fact that Ashley Young was our club captain when Maguire signed him. We immediately gave him the captain's armband. I didn't agree with that either.
That was a strange one, for sure.
Like, I know Ashley Young was going out the door, but you don't do that to someone. Like, if you were going to give it to the captain's armband to someone, you give it to like a Matic who pretty much played most of the games, or you give it to Maguire. Not Maguire. You give it to his partner at centre back. I don't think he's a captain, but he's got leadership qualities in there. Like he can organise a defence, but that's it. He's not a captain.
Do you know what I think
I would give McTominay club captain's armband, to be honest.
Potentially. The issue I think is I don't know why my camera's going out of focus again. But
I want your opinion because you're a Leicester fan.
Yeah, well, the thing is, Mourinho was wanted to sign him the year before he got fired, and he was very close to doing so. We brought in Soyuncu, we brought in Benkovic. To kind of like shore up the squad because we didn't really have anybody. We had Evans and Morgan. That centre back pairing can't last. Exactly, that's exactly what I said, Anne. Don't worry. I'm holding Leicester down here. But yeah, the year afterwards, he didn't really perform. It's something that really went under the radar. What happened is he had such a good Euros, and he scored, and he got into the England team, and he was not the reason why England did well, but he was a part of that. Everybody went crazy. Got into the England team, and everybody thought he was the next best thing, and he thought it was the next best thing. If you ask Leicester fans, the year after the Euros, he didn't really play. He didn't really score that many goals, and we were happy to let him go for 80 million, regardless. I mean, we've let like Mahrez go for 60 mil. He was way more of a loss than Maguire, and not to try
I think he went to the wrong club, personally.
Well. Sorry?
I've always believed that. I don't know what your thought is, but I think even though he's doing so well at Man City, I think Mahrez went to the wrong team. And now he's getting the team. But I thought if he wanted to showcase his playing style, I thought he would have went to Man United. I thought that would have been more effective. But he's done well at Man City. I think that's a big loss for Leicester on the right hand side. It's taken you a while to replace him.
Yeah, it has. However, a lot of him. He was waiting to go. He had his luggage ready. He was at airports just trying to fly away. And as you guys know, if a player, and he's going to go down as a Leicester legend for what he did, how many goals he scored, the assists and everything. To this day, he's probably the most skilled player I've ever seen at Leicester. Yeah. If somebody's waiting at the airport going, right, I want to go, then we're like, bye. We'll find a way without you. It's not the end of the world if you leave. And we have recovered. Now we've had to change our formation in terms of when Mahrez left, we brought in Maddison, not as a replacement, but another way of playing, because 4-4-2 worked really well for Mahrez. Now we have to think, right, we have to slightly change up and change the way and that kind of thing. So I understand, but at the end of the day, he's going to be, he's a great player and he's developed under Pep. However, he's going to be a bench player. He's not going to get in that squad ahead of any of them without any injuries. And it's same, unfortunately, with Gundogan. I mean, if De Bruyne is fit and everything, he starts every single game, but it's just the strength and depth that Man City have in order to win the league, because people are shouting, and they are great at the moment, don't get me wrong, but they spent 60 million on Diaz. Okay, he should, in my opinion, he should be brilliant. He should slot straight back into that team and go. And people are giving Man City a lot of credit, but they've been given the credit card and to buy whoever they want and however they want it. Yes, John Stones come to form and stuff, and I don't hate Man City, but I'm like, well, you should be doing well. Of course you spent all this money. You should be doing well. Like, if we had that kind of budget, we'd win the league too.
Go ahead, Neel. If you want to finish
anyway, rant over. But
I agree
everybody's getting carried away with City, and they are great. Don't get me wrong, but why are we surprised? Like, we shouldn't be surprised, really.
Like teams buy. Like, as a common factor, like teams buy when they're strong. Like, I can't believe I'm referencing a pundit I absolutely despise, but you do buy when you're strong, and it is smart to do so. But there's some clubs that are very smart where they don't spend big, but the recruitment is so strong that they can bring in anybody for a cost-effective price. And then you've got like in the 90s, you had like Man United signing Dwight York for like 15 million quid when they could have signed Batistuta for 20. And it says it all really how you manage your club effectively, that if you spend a certain amount, you're going to be given a certain amount of pressure. But we've gone from the days of Alan Shearer being worth 50 million quid being a world record to Neymar being 220 million, and you're like, well, that's not really done anything for PSG where they want to be. Whereas you've got, for example, Diaz doing something for Man City where they could potentially win the Champions League. I don't think they will. I don't think they'll win it. But Diaz is perhaps going to do more for Man City in the next 3, 4, 5 years than Neymar's done since he signed for them 4 years ago. Like, I think there's specific signings that are going to change things, and I think that's why Man United have failed in defence.
That's my point.
That's my point. I agree.
That's my point. 100%. I mean, Diaz is great, but how many has there been under Pep? I mean, there's been 5, 6 under Pep.
Yeah, about 300 million worth of defenders.
Exactly.
Absolutely crazy.
Do you know what I mean? I mean, obviously, me and Nathan are on different levels, but we can still agree from being like a small club, like we're not on them levels. And if we spent £300 million, mate, on our defence, of course we should be doing well. So again, they deserve praise, but that's my point. Everybody's getting carried away with them, and I'm not hating on City, but if you spend that kind of money, you should be doing well. I mean, that's you should be winning the league by this much.
Reece, I have one final question for you, okay? If that's okay, Doug. Make sure to...
Yeah, of course. Yeah, okay. Go ahead. Yeah.
On you go.
I just want to ask you, I want to quickly ask you about Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's man managing skills this season. Van de Beek to be playing against the teams that are in the lower blocks. You know, you talk about Van de Beek getting a run of games and all. Why didn't he come on? Why is he not playing in the place of Paul Pogba to unlock the defences and an extra attack in midfield? Why does he why is he not playing Bailly when Bailly has done nothing to not play when he's played? Why maybe not even give Dean Henderson a go, given De Gea's been a bit sceptical? And United fans, I don't know, that's not what I feel, that's just what I've been seeing. Wan-Bissaka keeps playing, even though he offers nothing in the final third in any shit way or form. Martial is a clear favourite of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. He's been shit, and then he plays no matter in what position. So, I just want to hear your opinion. Do you think Solskjaer is seriously shooting himself in the foot when he has an absolute great future ahead of him if he just did the right things?
I would have to say so, yeah. I mean, there are things that are contributing. I wouldn't just say Martial. I know Hell and Chanel's in this chat, and I know Renee's watching from elsewhere. It's not just Martial, it's Marcus Rashford as well. Frankly, if I was the Man United manager, I'd drop both of them. I would drop them both. And I
think you'll agree with me on this, but I don't understand why is he forcing Rashford or Martial out of position. So you're basically playing with a winger non-existent when he should be playing Mason Greenwood on the right, who is all by means deserving of starting that team regularly.
I think the smartest thing to do is he's playing two wingers just to get one in the team. I think if that's what he wants to do, then frankly he shouldn't be compensating. He needs to make the decision. Mourinho done it in the second season when we finished second. The first league game of the season, I'm pretty sure we started Martial left wing, Rashford on the bench, and we won 4-0. He brought Rashford on in about the 70th minute, and then Rashford scored, and he done that week to week. He would rotate one by one. It's going to get to the point where it should be. You've got young Amad Diallo, who is doing very well in the under 23s. He's had another fantastic game against Arsenal. Well, sorry, he didn't play actually, but he's been building up to that. Where if he wasn't ill, he would have played. There's some things that need to change. Wan-Bissaka, he's getting there. He is improving, but it's slow. It's slow improvements, and it's getting to the point where he really needs to kick on. He really needs to kick on, or he's going to fall behind. Bailly needs to start, but his injury record isn't great. Rashford shouldn't be playing on the right wing either. If you can't play right wing, frankly, you shouldn't be a forward, because a forward should have to be able to play multiple positions. Greenwood or Diallo, I would play. To be honest, in all respect, even though he's not a right winger, I would give Dan James a chance. And I don't rate him. I've been consistent with Dan James. I don't rate him at all, but I'm willing to be proven wrong. I would rather give him a chance at right wing, because at least he actually offers end product when he is given an opportunity, but he needs to work on decision making. That's a Rashford issue as well. His decision making is appalling. Martial, he needs to work a bit more. He's clearly not a striker. He's a winger. I think it's getting to the point where he clearly likes the 4-2-3-1. If you're going to play it, you don't have to play it with wingers. You could play it with two attacking midfielders as wide forwards. I see teams doing that a lot now, where they're playing attacking midfielders as wide forwards to bring in creativity and control. I see it with Grealish. He's playing out there. Phil Foden, Bernardo Silva, they're playing as wide forwards and they're attacking midfielders. There's nothing wrong with having that sense of control. I would play Pogba on the left-hand side and I'd play Van de Beek on the right and Bruno in the middle. I honestly would. And then play Greenwood through the middle or Cavani. I would drop Rashford. I would drop Martial. Use them as impact forwards and until they've actually regained some confidence. Bailly doesn't get a game, I think personally, and I'm going to say this, I think it's because his injury record is not good enough. It's absolutely diabolical how bad his injury record is. And Van de Beek, I don't know. A lot of people think it's personal agendas. I don't want to be that type of person who says Ollie's got an agenda against Van de Beek, but the fact he doesn't play him against a team where, frankly, he would be more effective, it's quite embarrassing that he hasn't getting enough games, and he got 15 minutes against West Brom. That's not on.
15 minutes.
You spend 40 million on this guy. Well, near enough 40 million. He deserves more than that. Like, it is embarrassing.
Yeah. Yeah, it is, and we're just going to have to see what happens with United this week because they've obviously got Real Sociedad. How are you feeling about that game, Reece?
Like we do have a Europa League preview come up. Remember, just
oh yeah.
Personally,
Reece, you don't have the answer now. Have the answer now.
I'll still answer it. I got asked the question, so I got asked the question, so I'll still answer it. I'm genuinely worried about United progressing. I don't think United will progress this game. I think Sociedad might edge it.
Interesting, right?
Our record against Spanish teams is shocking anyway, so that something needs to be rectified. But I don't know.
Right, from the Premier League to the Champions League.
Hello, darkness, my old friend. I've come to talk with you again.
Here's me tucking into a Mitt Humbug as I watch that, quality.
Yeah. I mean, let's obviously start with the English clubs. I mean, okay, Josh, Atletico Madrid, Chelsea. I think the last team you would wanted in that draw was Atletico Madrid, wasn't it?
Yeah, no, Chelsea fans were all saying before the draw, as long as we afford Atletico Madrid, as long as we afford Atletico Madrid scraped through their group by the skin of their teeth. They literally scraped through by the skin of their teeth. As shown in that, they've lost one game in La Liga all season. They've conceded 3 goals from open play all season long, and that includes in all competitions. He's changed the formation. He doesn't play a 4-4-2 anymore. He plays like a 3-4-2-1 or something along those types of lines. He's got Luis Suarez and João Felix up front, scares me. And if Kepa's going to start in nets here, we've watched Kepa take a goal kick here, and it's scaring me. But I honestly don't know. Now, here's a scary fact I don't think anyone knows. Since the Atletico Madrid moved into their new stadium, they have lost 2 games over 3 years at that stadium in their entire time of being there. One of them was to Antonio Conte's Chelsea. So, in a sense, fans or no fans, there's an advantage of Chelsea not going there. So, playing in Budapest gives us an advantage. But the way I see this is extremely simple. Chelsea in the away leg have to win the game by any type of goal, because you have to have Atletico Madrid come out to Stamford Bridge and come out. If you let Atletico Madrid just sit there for both legs, Chelsea will lose the game. I personally think we will go out I don't think we'll score in any of the 2 games, and we'll go out 2-0 in that group. I just don't have faith in the way we're scoring goals at the moment.
Yeah, my Champions League predictions are coming out tomorrow at 12, and I have actually predicted an Atletico Madrid win. I've said this is Tuchel's biggest test as Chelsea manager yet. Is this game, because Atletico Madrid are a different animal compared to a Spurs or someone in the Premier League, because I have to say that Atletico Madrid look like they're champions in waiting. They've still got 2 games in hand over Real Madrid. And quite frankly, Atletico Madrid have been the most consistent team in La Liga this season. So I can't see Chelsea winning that game. Yes, Abul. RB Leipzig, Liverpool. Now, if anyone has obviously noticed, me and Reece did a wee preview a couple of days ago. It was actually... I have to say, Reece, it was really nice to actually do something other than being on the podcast, wasn't it?
Yeah, so close. Sorry.
Well, yeah, it was. It was fun. Like, it was a good laugh.
How are you feeling? Obviously, we've obviously done the preview. Obviously, go and check that out. But how are you actually feeling with the game being tomorrow?
My opinion hasn't changed since after I watched the league game. After I watched the league game on Sunday, I don't see Liverpool winning this game. Leipzig are definitely gone through. Leipzig 100% are gone through. I'm willing to bet my soul on it.
Interesting. Well, I have to say that I think it's going to be a very tricky game. Let's put it that way. Our record has not been great, but it's good to the fact that I actually have heard today that I think it was the One Football app actually that Liverpool's second leg will be moved away from Anfield. So Ricky and all the Liverpool fans in here, that is news for you guys. Liverpool's second leg against Leipzig is to be moved away from
compared to Man City, who will play at the Etihad.
No. To be fair, it is more than likely true because Arsenal's second leg against Benfica is not being played at the Emirates. It's getting played in Rome, if I think my memory serves me right. So I don't know if that's due to travel restrictions by the UK government or because of Uefa trying to make it as fair as possible. But the truth is, the same with Chelsea. The likelihood that the game would be played at Stamford Bridge is probably quite unlikely too.
Yeah, very interesting. Yeah, I think. Look, I think we go into this game. You know, if we get the away goal, then fair enough. But Leipzig are a very, very tricky team. I'm looking forward to seeing Gulacsi coming back against his old club because Gulacsi never got a chance at Liverpool, so it'd be nice to see him. I'm really worried about Sabitzer. I think Sabitzer's a fantastic midfielder in there. I would take an away win, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. But obviously, the other English game is Borussia Mönchengladbach against Manchester City. Now, Nathan, I mean, this is against probably one of the best attacks in the Bundesliga, against one of the best defences in England. How do you see that one going?
Well, all I'll say is defence always wins, as Josh covered earlier. But I don't know. I think Gladbach might be able to break through it, but Man City have, I would say, an equally good as attack. Not as probably effective, but it is still up there in Premier League standards. So I do think it'll be tight, and Gladbach will show their qualities and stuff there. But Man City have got to do it. If they go out on Europe at this stage again, there is going to be complete and utter uproar. So I'm probably going to say 2-1 in the first leg, and then Man City will narrowly get through 1-0.
To Nathan's point, I think Nathan's completely right. I think Man City are even better form, playing far better than what they probably were when they won the league. In those 2 seasons, I think they just look like much more of a unit. More players are in form. They're not relying on Maguire. Phil Foden has been exceptional. So if City do not win, I think if City do not win the league, so do not win the Champions League or even get to the final, semi-final this season with the form they are in, it's an embarrassment to Pep Guardiola because this is the season where they look the best. Because you look at all teams in Europe, could you really say there's anyone in Europe besides Atletico Madrid who's saying are really playing really, really well? It's Man City's to really win or lose this season.
It is definitely.
I would agree.
Can't agree more with that.
It says it all, really, that Man City have not got to the semi-finals since Manuel Pellegrini's last season. It says it all.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like 2014-15, isn't it? You are going back to that one.
2015-16 season.
And that is exactly why. And just to say, Sean McDonald's all taking it back. Bayern Munich are losing 2-0 there.
Where are Arminia Bielefeld? Are they like 16th or something?
They are 15th.
And,
this game takes them out of the relegation zone.
It does me a favour because we won on Sunday. Get
True,
it up,
yeah.
Bayern. Get it up, you.
This is why Bayern Munich will not win the Champions League this year. Not the same team.
Yep. I've already told you who's going to win the Champions League. If you actually listened, you would have heard me.
I'm thinking Atletico Madrid. Do you know that?
Exactly. It'll either be Atletico Madrid or, frankly, I wouldn't rule them out because he'll turn up when he wants to. It'll probably Barcelona. You can't rule them out either.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So Neel, who's going through if Atletico Madrid, Chelsea, RB Leipzig, Liverpool, and Borussia Mönchengladbach, Man City?
That's a lot to take in. That's a lot to take in.
Yeah, I was going to say, we'll do one match at a time. I've only got a small brain. So I could do Man City will go through, I think. And then Leipzig. I think Liverpool should be able to. You'll be able to clear out Leipzig over two matches. And then what was the last one?
I hope so.
Last one's
What was the last
Atletico
one?
Chelsea.
No, Atletico got that. Sorry, Josh, but I think Atletico have got that.
No,
in the
Good
bag.
answer.
I think
That's why I like him.
I think Atletico Madrid will go for you. I have no issue, but I think Atletico Madrid will beat us. I don't think we'll score.
Really?
Right. Let's go into the other games. We'll start off with probably the surprise package of last season in Atalanta against Real Madrid.
Yes.
Reece, I'll come to you first. Do you think they can beat Real Madrid? Obviously, Real Madrid don't have Sergio Ramos as well.
I don't think they're going to beat Real Madrid. I know they're going to beat Real Madrid.
I agree. I agree with Reece.
Atlanta are going through. Just watch them beat Real Madrid at the San Siro. They'll beat them 2-0 at the San Siro.
Wow. That would be quite amazing, actually. Josh?
I'm genuinely so impressed with Gasperini as a manager because I watch Serie A anyway.
Just say, Ricky, I support Chelsea to answer your question. I think Atalanta will beat Real Madrid. Real Madrid, Zidane does not have any tactics. He's hopeless in the Champions League without Ronaldo. Benzema is nowhere near the same player he used to be. When you watch him in La Liga, it's just put people on the pitch and hope for the best. He doesn't have any sort of idea in terms of what to do. His tactical, I think he's worse than Solskjaer in game management. I think Reece says something. So he's worse than Lampard and Lampard substitutions. He went to the 85th minute to make his first sub. So
to quote a famous quote regarding managers, Zidane is no tactics, just vibes.
And one thing I don't think many people will remember this, but I think when Atalanta played PSG in the semi-final last year in that one-legged game in Portugal, it proved that Gasperini, he actually changed the philosophy of the team. They played a bit more on the counter-attack, a bit more on the defensive side, and it worked in absolute treat. They should have bet PSG. Was it not Thibaut Boateng who scored the winner for PSG? That's how desperate things got. So I actually really do fancy Atalanta to go through over 2 legs because Real Madrid are not scoring enough goals. They're shocking at the back. Courtois is mistake prone. I think Atalanta's going to win.
Do you think they can go all the way?
I don't think they can go all the way. I don't think they go all the way because defensively they don't have the experienced leaders at the back to go all the way. I feel like pressure will get to them in the end. But I just don't think Real Madrid have that pressure to put on Atalanta. But I think Atalanta's attack will destroy the Real Madrid defence.
I think after they move into a stadium that's certified for the Champions League, they'll have the money to bring in a centre back or two that'll work. But at the moment, I don't see them getting close. I think the furthest they'll go is probably the quarterfinals. I think they've got a chance of getting to the quarterfinals, but I don't see them getting any further.
Yeah. Nathan, do you agree with that? Do you think Atalanta will beat Real Madrid?
Yeah, I think it's going to happen as well. Real Madrid have seen it going for a few years. I mean, it's sort of Zidane who was slowly falling down as a manager because that squad is aging, which you've got to remember. Ramos, he's getting on.
100%.
Kroos, he's getting on. Modric, he's already old. Benzema, he's got, I'd say, 1 or 2 seasons left in him until he starts to decline. That team is getting old. They do have some youngsters coming through. They got rid of Odegaard, which I thought was absolutely weird. I would have kept him at Real Madrid, even though he's not being used properly. But they got to rebuild. They got to rebuild. Now, I don't think Zidane is the right manager for it.
Neel?
Go through.
I mean, I'm just as kind of because I think you guys touched on it and smashed it, to be honest. But as a team that supports a person that supports a lower team, it's quite nice seeing the big people fail. Are you just saying Borussia Dortmund, and Bayern Munich are not looking that great. PSG aren't looking that great. And Bayern Munich and Real Madrid, it was bound to happen. And people support these clubs because they win. And now it's just you stick by your team now if you're a big player. if you're actually a big fan, you stick by your team through the crap. And this is something that, again, I'll highlight me and Nathan. I know we're on different leagues, but it's when you see your chain get dragged through the mud once again, you're like, well, we'll stick through them. This is exactly what it's like. And to be fair, you guys have seen nothing close to what we've seen. And not to kind of go, oh, we're better than everybody, but again, this 20 since Corona hit, it's just messed up everything, and it's quite nice in a way. I quite like it because
I've
you
had to
predicted how many top teams are failing all at the same time, and including the Premier League as well.
I've had to suffer AC Milan. I've had the AC Milan downfall. I've had to suffer Rangers. So I know pain. Like Man United's a different type of pain, but fuck me, that's pain I can't go through again.
Are we all saying that Bayern Munich will go through against Lazio?
No.
Not on current form.
I think Bayern Munich, right? I don't really know the difference, but I think Hansi Flick had a really long honeymoon period because this season he's showing what Lampard, Arteta, Solskjaer are showing, and now he doesn't. Last year his team that he put it on a pitch and the formation worked a treat. This year it's not the same, and he's struggling to change it. He's not changed the formation once this season. His substitutions are always later than the 70th minute. So, and Lazio still have the same manager they had last season. I can't pronounce his name, but I know his face. If I'm right, he's the same guy. I can't say. I don't know. I can't remember his name. But is it the same
position?
Guy? No, the manager.
What, for Lazio?
Yeah, it's the same manager.
Simeone and Inzaghi.
Yeah, it's the same
Filippo's
one.
brother.
He's a really, really, really underrated manager. I think he's
a very good manager. I think he'll be the next Juventus manager.
I think he's working wonders.
Good shout.
I think he's working wonders with a limited budget. So, for me personally, I do think Bayern Munich will win. But I think Bayern Munich will scrape it by their teeth. Like, I can see it being all away goals, or I can see it being a 1-0 win victory. And they will not, and I mean will not, dominate this game. I think Lazio will push them all the way into the second leg.
I genuinely see this is what I think is going. I genuinely think this is what's going to happen, because you look at the Lazio squad. I mean, they've got Immobile, who's top 5 strikers in world football. I would have to say he's top 5. You've got Luis Alberto. You've got Sergej Milinkovic-Savic, and you've got Lucas Leiva in a balanced midfield.
Yeah.
And then you've just got a very strong core defence. I think Lazio have got a good chance, but the problem as well is they've got an aging squad as well. So they're going to have to break them quickly on the counter, because they can't. I don't think they'll last long enough. Like, if Bayern Munich dominate the game, like pressure-wise, which is what you expect. Bayern Munich have a very good squad, but Hansi Flick hasn't done enough to change it. I mean, the fact they lost, I think, in round 3, they got eliminated in round 3 of the DFB Pokal. Like, that says it all. To a team that's in the 3rd division, like, that very rarely happens. Like, that says it all how far they've come.
I can't remember that team's name, but that was an embarrassing defeat. That was an embarrassing defeat. This is a really interesting tie, I think. This is a really tough one to call. Nathan, Sevilla or Borussia Dortmund? Now, we all know about Borussia Dortmund's struggles this season. I mean, they drew 2-2 with Hoffenheim the weekend. I think it only took an 84th minute equaliser from, I think it was Holland, to get a 2-2 draw with Hoffenheim. So Borussia Dortmund are struggling. Sevilla, on the other hand, they're doing not too bad in La Liga. Could you see Sevilla maybe knocking out Borussia Dortmund?
I think they might have a sort of chance, but they're a Europa League team to me. They never seem to do well in the Champions League, and they just completely fold up like a custard cream every time that they play in the Champions League. Dortmund, they should be able to get through, but I think they're going to go out in the next round. Yeah, I think it's going to happen. Dortmund probably scrape through 2-1.
Just some news on the Chelsea game. Tammy Abraham has went off seriously injured after a challenge in the box, and Olivier Giroud has replaced him.
Interesting, because we don't know any updates on the body part, or
are you just wishing it was Kepa?
I never want Kepa to get injured. I want him to have like a career of no injuries.
He hasn't had the save to make it. Chelsea have came close twice at the moment, still in the leach.
Yeah, Josh, I'll come to you for this one. Sevilla, Borussia Dortmund. It's a tough one.
This is going to be funny.
Maybe if I'm just liking my tweet there. Wait 2 seconds. No.
I've refilled my glass for you, by the way. Like for this one section, I've refilled my glass with another bottle of Pepsi Max. This is going to be funny.
This is a really difficult question, right? Okay, the way I see it is, Sevilla love to score goals. Dortmund love to concede goals, but Haaland could win Dortmund for that game. Could win that game for them one-handed. No, I did see a report, and I believe Dortmund are missing like 6 first-team players. And they've got the interim coach. He has the experience of my bald head, which I don't have, but you know what I mean. I think Lopetegui is literally going to have a field day. I think this could end up being a training game for. I just don't see how Dortmund have the confidence. I don't see how they have. I just don't see where the win comes from. Like, they've got 2 keepers they've got 2 Kappas as their 2 goalkeepers. They've got centre backs who I could run faster than. The midfield is the midfield. You might as well put my wee bird. You might as well put my wee bird in that in the midfield. He'll do better. He'll do better than what they have. I think initially Haaland doesn't score 2 hat-tricks. Sevilla's going to win this game quite comfortably.
All I can say is just jumping in. That is a penalty, as far as I'm concerned.
That's a tackle on Abraham. I've said got him injured. But Farr didn't even check it, by the way.
That is your knee gone right there.
That is a penalty, yeah.
Farr didn't check it.
Shocking.
That's a joke. That's a shocking
surprised.
decision. That's a shocking decision. Reece, what do you think about that game?
Dortmund versus Sevilla. I actually think Dortmund are going to progress, to be honest. I think Dortmund are going to go through. I think Dortmund have got what Sevilla don't have, and that's Champions League experience. I think they're a far better team in the Champions League than they are in the Bundesliga, so I think they will go through. I also agree with Chanel. I think the fact that a fantastic manager is coming at the end of the season will give them a bit of a lift. Let's show the new incoming manager what we're capable of. So I expect Dortmund to actually steamroll Sevilla. I think they're going to win 3-0 in aggregate, to be honest. I don't think Sevilla will score in either game.
Well, from one team that knows how to beat Sevilla, Neel, how you feeling about that game? That's a really tough one to call, isn't it?
Yeah, I think overall 2 legs. I do think it's going to be 2-1 Sevilla, though. I think Sevilla will go through relatively easy, to be honest. So they've got. I think if you look at the experience they've got more than Dortmund and how to handle the pressure and stuff. So. Yeah, I think it's quite an easy victory for Sevilla, to be perfectly honest with you.
Interesting. Well, funnily enough, I've gone for it. I've actually said Sevilla will win the first leg. So we'll see. FC Porto Juventus. Are we all saying Juventus will go through here?
Definitely.
I know Reece is shaking. I can see why Reece is shaking his head, because Juventus have not been good this season at all. I think their league position says it all. I hate them. I don't think their score's particularly good. Their midfield's atrocious, but they should have enough for Porto, but I do not see them getting past the quarterfinals when they beat Porto. I think they'll go in the quarterfinals. Regardless, I think it doesn't matter who they get. I think they'll be out.
Nathan?
Yeah, I think Juventus should be able to get this. Porto, yes, they do play good football and their manager gets them playing well, and I think he's done a great job there, but it's just Juventus at the end of the day, and I don't think Porto are strong enough at the back to withstand the Juventus attack from the likes of Cristiano Ronaldo and all those going forward. So, and I think the Juve defence, De Ligt, Bonucci, they're just going to lock up. So Juve go in through surely.
Reece says no. So you think Porto will win?
I think Porto will win the first leg, yeah, but I don't think they're going to go through. But I think they'll win the first leg. But
just on that note, I think Porto are one of the fortunate ones that do get to play their home leg because they're in Portugal.
They are, yeah.
And Estadio Dragao, I think, is what their stadium's name.
The Dragao Stadium, yeah. Like I do expect that.
Porto have the most annoying audio sounds on FIFA. Just saying, they have like Porto.
It is funny. See,
it's like a doorbell.
That's Alonso. Alonso's useless. Alonso
calm down. Your team's shite anyway. But
should have bought Joel. Well, he did.
It is significant. Like Porto are actually a decent side. It's just they are coming against a strong Juventus side who, like, this is Andrea Pirlo's first knockout round as a manager. So this is going to be an interesting task for him. And he did well in the group stages. So we'll see how he copes. I do think they'll win, but it's going to be the second leg they'll progress.
Yeah.
It's literally just going to be for them, Ronaldo and Dybala vibes, but they've got a decent squad. They're just not. I think he needs to change the system a bit because they are doing well now in the league. They are bouncing back, but the fact is that they're doing what Real Madrid did under Zidane. They're propping up at the right time. We'll just see how it goes, but I agree with Josh. I don't see them getting past the quarterfinals. I don't think they've got enough in it. And and it says all that they rely too much on Ronaldo. So
yeah,
I think they'll get Barcelona and they'll get beat.
Right, I was just going to come to this one. Barcelona, PSG. I'll start with Neel on this one. How are you feeling about this game? This is another tricky one to call because PSG are hoping to obviously remove the demons of going to the new camp and winning and losing 6-1. But that was under Unai Emery. They're now under Mauricio Pochettino. Do you think PSG can go to Barcelona and win?
That's a good question. I have no idea. Neither team. Yeah, I have no idea.
Neel, just if this helps you make your decision, in case you weren't aware, Barcelona have a bad injury crisis. That Frankie De Jong is playing as their first choice centre back at the moment.
Oh, I did not know that.
Okay,
wow.
Do you know what? I can't see them scoring a lot of goals. Then, from that information, I'm just going to go 1-0 PSG. Then
I'm going to say this now. I think PSG will beat Barcelona home and away. I actually see PSG winning this.
I'm going to disagree.
They've got no Neymar, so that's a creative sense gone.
Sister's birthday curse, isn't it?
They'll expect Mbappe to do it on his own, and that's not going to work.
Yeah.
I honestly think you're going to see Messi step up for the first time this season. I think Barcelona are going to beat PSG. I actually think Barcelona are going to be in the Champions League final, and I honestly think they will. I think Barcelona might actually win it.
Yeah, what you got to remember as well is Barcelona have been in absolutely fantastic form recently as well. PSG, yes, they've been up and down, and now Neymar's injured. I just don't think they'll have the attacking threat there.
Exactly.
Barcelona will get there comfortably.
And look at who they've got in midfield as well. I mean, they've still got the likes of Busquets, who, even though he's still getting on, he's still the best defensive midfielder in world football. He still shows why he is the best in his position. You've got Griezmann, who's doing fantastic now as well. Now he's been given a chance. Ronald Koeman's actually done something that Kike
he's starting to gel with the
do.
team finally as well, I find.
Yep. Coutinho's done, to be honest, he's done really well. De Jong, he's only playing a centre-back because Umtiti was not wasted as an opportunity. He was benched. I expect him to go back into midfield, and I think Umtiti and Lenglet will be at centre-back on Wednesday.
That'll be brilliant.
Longgate's out injured.
Oh, is it? Shite. He's an absolute machine. I still think this is Barcelona's game to run. Like, the reason I say is because if there's one team in world football you physically cannot write out, even if they're playing utter shite, is Barcelona. I am more scared of Barcelona than I am Real Madrid, and I think Real Madrid have got the better team. I think Barcelona are a much better team, better as a team than Real Madrid. And I think Barcelona are going to go and hang with them. And Real Madrid are going to be behind Barcelona in the league soon. Because I think Barcelona have got a game in hand on them. Yeah. So it says it all, how it's going to go.
It's mental. Josh, finally, with you, what do you think about this game?
That's a really good one. I don't know. This is tough. Yes! Olivier Giroud has scored for Chelsea.
That was such a delayed reaction. I found that out a minute and a half ago.
No,
I wasn't going to spoil anything, but
I have to use a stream, otherwise the stream lags. So I'm going to have a delay. But Giroud has scored, so Chelsea now. Anyway, regarding that was really. By the way, as a team will find an assist that will make Reece very happy. That will go on screen.
He's done something.
And it was a really good assist. Anyway, Barcelona and PSG. You're basically looking at Mbappe versus Neymar, I think, in this one.
Neymar is injured, remember.
I know Neymar's out injured.
He's been out for both ties.
Which is good for football.
He's always injured in the Champions League. It's a really difficult one because I don't think PSG have looked any better under Pochettino than what they did under Tuchel when he got sacked. I don't think Pochettino has done any. I think he's overrated, personally, but anyway, that's my personal opinion. I don't think Pochettino is anything special. I think he should have won trophies with Spurs. I think he should have won trophies with Spurs, but anyway.
Keep going. You're just going to keep getting this from me. Just keep going.
Ronald Koeman in the has managed in the Champions League. His record isn't particularly great. He actually did struggle in the group stages away from home. I'm going to go with a controversial 2-each with PSG winning on away goals, because the one thing that makes me worried about Barcelona is Barcelona have not kept a clean sheet in any of their last 15 games. Even when they won 5-1 there the weekend, they still conceded to Dani Alves. I just feel like this is going to be a PSG win on away goals. I can't split them other than that.
I think the ones. I'll just make this is just a quick point, but I think the one significance you got is like under PSG, like they are starting to change a little bit with Pochettino, but I think it's a little bit too late. They're coming to the Champions League perhaps at the wrong time. If this had been at the start of the season under Pochettino, I think they would have beaten Barcelona. I think Ronald Koeman's starting to finally get this team to gel. And I rate Ronald Koeman. I've said it consistently when we've been on the show and we've talked about him. I've said I rate Ronald Koeman. I think he got unfairly sacked at Everton. He done really well at Southampton. Not many people give him credit for it. And I genuinely think he is going to turn him around. And he is not going to be in the Barcelona job at the end of the season. That's why I think he's going to win the Champions League. So, in all fairness, I do think he's going to take them around. When they're finally playing the 4-3-3, so they're finally actually getting the best out of the front three as well. And the midfield is starting to gel comfortably. Pjanic has been standout when he wants to be. So, I do see it going more in Barcelona's favour, and I'm going to go 4-1 on aggregate.
Interesting.
Wow. Okay, well, from the Champions League to the Europa League.
Timo Werner! Oh, you should have scored that.
As long as we start with Leicester, because they're not going through.
You think?
Nah, you're going through. You're going through. I was just joking.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I was like, oh.
Neel, we will start with you. Slavia Prague against Leicester. How are you feeling about this game over 2 legs?
I don't know, to be perfectly honest with you. Partially because we've never been this high in the table and this deep into a competition like Europa League before, so it's all new to us. And we've got like 4 injuries out at the moment, and we've not got the biggest squad. We've actually got a preview coming tomorrow or Wednesday with a fan from Prague who's going to come and tell us about Prague, which will be quite interesting. I've seen some really good stuff from them. However, we'll have to see. I'm not putting anything on because even though we're doing well in the league and stuff, it depends on the form that we're going to go into this game. I'm hoping for a win. I really want to get through because it's the last 30, it's the last 16, for example. But me and I don't know if you guys know, I tried to go live with Doug for the Europa League.
Oh yeah.
I was like, okay, click go live, and then it went nothing. I was clicking again, and I'm clicking again, and I was like, my internet's fine. What's going on? Doug couldn't go either. Turns out YouTube had died. That was the day that that perfect time.
That was
kidding me.
Oh.
Yeah, I remember this. It was when I did the stream of the Champions League draw.
Yeah,
I
and it was
did
fine.
that, and then almost immediately I was coming onto your stream to basically talk about the Europa League. And I remember that YouTube went down the minute I finished my Champions League stream. So how lucky I was indeed. But honestly, obviously we all know about the Slavia Prague, Sparta Prague as well. And Ricky Swift makes a very good comment. Slavia Prague beat Celtic 4-1 twice as well.
Very good results.
I watched both games. Let's just say I was happy.
But yeah, I think Leicester will probably go through in both legs. I'm going to say this now. Benfica Arsenal. I don't care what anyone says. With
Benfica.
both games being away, but like Arsenal will be able to play the Emirates. Benfica will win both legs. I don't see Arsenal going through.
Yeah.
I stand
so,
by that.
absolutely.
I've a few of the players they've got I think are absolutely fantastic. Grimaldo, I love watching him play at left back. Even against Rangers, he was superb. Benfica are a team I like to watch now and again when they're on, like we're on telly. So I watch them when I get a chance. I watched both games against Rangers. They were obviously I knew Rangers were going to have a good game anyway because Rangers are superior in European football, but they've got a good team. That Waldschmidt he's been very consistent up top. Julian Weigl in midfield, he's a good player as well. They've got Chervy left wing. You've got Pizzi's been confirmed to a central midfielder instead of being on the right hand side. They've changed the system from a standard 4-4-2. They're now playing a 4-4-1-1. So they've sort of changed things up a little bit. But Benfica so far, they've done really well at changing the system. I would never expect Benfica to change from a 4-4-2 because they very rarely do it. But ever since they've done that formation change, they've been far better. I expect Benfica to progress. I don't see Arsenal getting through at all. I don't even think it's going to need I don't think it's going to need extra time. I think Benfica are going to bully them.
Oh yeah,
Nathan?
Yeah, I completely agree with Reece. Then, like, don't think I can really add anything else about that. I just think Benfica are going to steamroll them. So
Werner
much better
scored.
team.
Sorry?
Werner scored.
Yep. I don't want to spoil it, but
Because it's Werner.
I'm just happy to hear he scored because he missed a good opportunity about 5 minutes ago. So Prague scored.
Yeah. Josh, Benfica Arsenal?
I think Arsenal will win. I'm going to disagree with pretty much everyone here. The reason why I say that is
he's high. He's
mental.
Just, hear me out. Okay? Hear me out. Right, I understand why people think that Benfica should win, but Arsenal against Leeds. No, okay, yes, it's Leeds and they're defensively open, but I actually think Arsenal going forward aren't as bad as people think. I think Aubameyang thrives in these types of competitions. Defensively, Arsenal haven't actually been that bad. If Matt Ryan plays, they have a compliment second goalkeeper. I just think Benfica are a great team. I think Benfica are a really, really good team. But I just think that it'd be terrible for Arsenal to win this game. I think it will be a really tough game. I think it'll only go through by a goal. But I do see Arsenal win this. I just think Aubameyang, like I said, Pepe, Saka, in the Europa League, I think they'll thrive in a different competition and a different setting.
I'm not answering that. I'm not because I'm not looking forward to it. Just to make you aware though, you have seen who Benfica are now playing at centre back. They've finally put Vertonghen into centre back, so they're now playing Nicolas Otamendi and Jan Vertonghen as a centre back partnership.
That's a great pairing.
That's not pace. That's not pace, but that is strength in defence.
Strength in defence. I was just about to say that. Yeah.
Like, there's no pace, but that is generally what you want a centre back. You've actually got two centre backs that actually are going to do really well.
I mean,
Rangers can win the league in 4 games' time. 4 games away from the title.
Even Celtic slipped. And another big giant has slipped that should be winning the league. Yeah,
exactly. Reece, who have Rangers got again? I've forgotten. Is it Royal Antwerp?
Yeah. Royal Antwerp. It's literally it's not even worth it. It's going to be an absolute. Rangers will smash them 6-0. Like honest to God, like I am willing to say this is going to be the highest scoring win of the entire knockout stage. Like Rangers are gone through. Like there's no ifs or buts about this. Like there's nothing.
I wouldn't. Yeah, I think Rangers will definitely go through in that one. The other one is Tottenham against Wolfsberger. I think this is an Austrian team.
That's the Austrian team. Yeah, you would expect Spurs to progress, but
they're going to put up a fight.
Spurs will lose a leg, one of the legs.
One from Gareth Bale, probably.
The thing is, will Spurs? The question
Get in,
is,
Neel.
right, the question is, okay, here's the question: how serious do we see him taking it? Will he play Joe Hart? Will he play Harry Kane? Will he play Son? Well, how serious do we see Mourinho? Because being serious, if he decides to make changes, I think they can lose this game.
But they've not got anything in the league to play with, so you might as well go for it. I mean, they're falling at the moment, so you might as well put all your energy. And then at the end of the season, if he wins the Europa League, he can just go, told you so, just like he did at Man
Bayern
United.
have scored.
Yeah, they're 2-1. 2-1. I think the game's got about.
I agree with everything Neel said there. To be honest, I completely agree. Like in terms of it does depend on what they do. You would expect Tottenham to progress this game. They've got far better team, quality wise. They're a lot stronger than Wolfsburg. Far stronger. I do see them potentially losing one of the legs, but I think it'll be like 1-0. I don't see Tottenham conceding anymore. I don't think he's going to play a weak squad. I think he's actually going to give it a shot because they're not in the top four, and he won the Europa League in his first full season with Man United, and this is his first full season with Tottenham. So frankly, it would not surprise me if it doesn't happen in this way. I do think that Tottenham they'll play a strong squad, but they won't win both games. No.
And finally, with the English, the British clubs, as you say, Manchester United against Real Sociedad. David Silva potentially coming back to play against Man United.
Since Reece has already had his thoughts on this, I will think that the only reason why I think United will lose this game is because Solskjaer will make the changes against. If he plays the same team that he did against West Ham or similar, I think United will lose because that team that he played. Oh dear, that team that played against West Ham. I don't think he created anything at all.
West Brom.
No, I'm talking about the FA Cup when he played Matic.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were meaning West Brom.
We played Martial from Matic in midfield, Van de Beek instead of Bruno. I even seen played Brandon Williams maybe or Tantella. So I don't know where Europa League really is in Solskjaer's priority. We won't know until that lineup comes out first. And I don't think Reece could really give a proper answer to what Solskjaer really thinks about it. But I think Solskjaer will go full strength. They will go for it. They will go for this competition all day long. I think Solskjaer will do like he did with the FA Cup. He'll make a few changes. Henderson will definitely play, I think, over the hair. I think probably Bailly will play, which is probably an advantage to United in a sense, even if it is just a rotational change.
Yeah.
So I think Solskjaer will win both legs. Actually, it'll be a draw in one leg. Solskjaer will win the other leg, and they'll go through all together.
Interesting. Nathan?
I think it's going to be close. It's at the end of the day, it depends who turns up in both legs. Sociedad, they'll put up a fight. I think they have a really good squad among them and some really underrated players, and probably some of the most underrated players in the Liga. But I know at the end of the day, it depends if Solskjaer turns up and what team he puts out and whether he can get his man management there. I've seen it at times where he can turn up in these big games. I've seen it at Cardiff. I've seen it when he's as Man United boss as well. I think they're going to win one game apiece, but I think Man United will score more goals, so I think they'll just edge through.
I just have to say, I'm not surprised. Dortmund are losing, because I don't know if you guys can see this or not, but look who's playing behind Lewandowski.
Eric Choupo-Moting.
Oh no! Choupo-Moting. Oh no!
Bielefeld are actually they're an interesting side, put it that way. They are an interesting one.
Rich Sports, Armenia Bielefeld were the team that got promoted last season, I think.
They were,
from the Bundesliga 2. So that's a shocking result at the moment for Bayern Munich. Absolutely shocking result. Neel, do you think Man United will go through against Sociedad?
Personally, no. I can't see them really. In terms of the team they'll put out, I honestly can't see Reece. I can't see them going through. I mean, it would be nice to see him through, kind of.
I agree.
But I can't see it happening. I just can't see it happening, to be honest, mate.
I agree. I don't think United are going through as much as I want them to. I don't think we are. I think Sociedad are going to get the crucial away goal that clinches it. I think it'll be like what happened with Sevilla. We'll just be fucking diabolical. I don't expect it.
How Media Bielefeld sound like a Bond villain. That's fantastic. That is fantastic.
Bielefeld to Blofeld. I would expect United to go through, but I don't think they will. The Spanish record is a big problem, and also there are some they've got that are actually very good to watch. I mean, Isaac, Silva, Januzaj, or Yarzabal, I think is the key man. I think you need to watch out for him on the left wing. He's a very good winger.
Oh, Christ, I forgot about Januzaj. I forgot about Januzaj.
He will score. Januzaj will score on Thursday.
Wow.
I genuinely think Januzaj is going to score.
Right, final topic of the podcast, and it is managers who could potentially go at the end of them. Is definitely a shoe-in, I think.
Definitely.
I would say
Sam Allardyce will not be at West Brom next season. I can guarantee that.
Allardyce,
no chance.
Allardyce, Bruce, and Klopp.
No, just to say, reason why I put Sam Allardyce in there is it came out from a West Brom correspondent who works for the Athletic that West Brom have offered Sam Allardyce a 3-year contract, even if they get relegated, to take on the control next season. Is it up to him if he takes it?
He won't take it.
He won't take it.
Are they stupid? Are they actually stupid?
Before they get relegated, then he can maintain his record.
Allardyce will just do something like Neil Warnock does. He'll say something in an interview, and then he'll be like either sacked or he'll walk. Like, he does not want to be relegated. He never wants that on his CV. I do not want to be a manager go relegated. So I see him walking.
To be fair though, with Warnock at the end of the day, that was mutual later on in the season. It was about halfway through. We were poor at the start of that season. The year after we got relegated, sold loads of. I actually thought we kept the core of our squad, but we didn't. And then it just ended on Warnock. But yeah, Allardyce, he will not take a club up from the Championship. He is a Premier League manager. He keeps clubs there. Apart from that, he won't go. He will not go down to the Championship. But I'll get onto my list now anyway in a sec. But yeah, go ahead, guys.
I've got a number of managers I know that are definitely going.
Yeah, same here.
Hodgson?
I think Mourinho's going to be going.
I don't.
Hodgson will be gone.
I think Mourinho's going to get another season.
Hodgson will be gone. Hodgson will be gone. Anyone see Sean Dyche, maybe?
Yeah.
No, he'll be at Burnley forever.
Why would he leave?
The season, I think
he wouldn't leave and he wouldn't go.
Well,
I mean,
to the extent of Neil's point, he's got new owners. He's going to get money. He's going to get a backing. Why would he want to? Why would he leave? Unless a really big club came from him, he has no reason to leave.
Exactly.
So why would a big club go for Sean Dyche?
Exactly.
Right.
He isn't good enough.
Let's go through all the Premier League clubs and basically say yes or no to managers who will be gone. Arsenal, Arteta.
Yes.
No.
He'll stay for another year.
I don't see Arteta going. Aston Villa, Dean Smith. Definitely
no.
He's turned that club around. There's no chance.
They've already got the same or more points this season than what they did at the end of last season. That says it all.
So did West Ham. So did West Ham.
Brighton, Graham Potter.
Possibly.
Yes,
there's a chance. Their style of play. I say it all the time on this podcast and in my streams as well. Graham Potter does not suit that club. Style of play just doesn't work with a group of players that they have. I think he needs to go to a different club where they sort of play the right style of football. It worked really well for him at Swansea. Left after a year. Maybe he should have stayed after it. But well, they're all happy that they got Steve Cooper now. But Brighton, they just don't fit with his style of play, and I really think he should get out there before he ends up getting sacked.
Where would he go though? They've turned it around recently, but who else would take him in the Premier League?
I think Crystal Palace would take him.
It would be a Palace or it would be abroad again.
For the first time, I'm actually going to disagree with Nathan. This is the first time I've had on the podcast. Graham Potter this season, if you look at Brighton, they have not really had. How could you say a team that has gone to the Etihad and played and matched City's performance, has gone to Anfield and won, has given Chelsea hell of a game?
Yeah.
A team that won far in the FA Cup with a second team. How could you say that's a team? How could you say Graham Potter's not getting the best out of that Brighton team? They play some of the best football in the league.
100%.
Defensively, they are sound. No team is going to get an easy game against them in any shape, way, or form. They outplay Liverpool.
Well, I'm
So-
going to quickly counter that. I'm going to quickly counter that point and quickly summarise it by saying they've benefited by having a weak lower area around them. They've played some good football, but they haven't exactly lightened up at times.
Yeah,
They've got some very good players.
Yeah, but
They've got some good players though.
Brighton have only bought. Like, if you look at since Graham Potter's been at the club, he has only signed 4 players. Every other player came for the youth academy. Yet they have never, under the 2 seasons, they have not been under any relegation.
Exactly.
No, I'm not going to say they're an underachieving side, but they can do better. I mean,
but
they can do better. There's no disrespect to that.
He took over a rigid defensive Chris Hughton side who were always about defending. He transformed Brighton riskily, very risky from the board and from Graham Potter to change the whole philosophy of the team. And the fact that they're not in any relegation style, and the only reason why they're not higher up in the league is because they don't have a proper striker. You can score, they don't have a Glenn Murray of a couple of seasons ago. That's the
They wouldn't be in a relegation battle if Chris Hughton was still in charge anyway.
No way.
He was unfairly sacked by Brighton.
Which is fine, but where we currently are, I mean, Graham Potter is doing a fantastic job. Not at the beginning of the season, but now it's starting to turn it around.
Yes.
If he keeps continuing like that, he will be in a very good spot.
They are doing well.
Okay.
It's still not convinced. Though.
Burnley, Sean Dyche, yes or no?
I hope so.
He's staying.
He stays.
I think he stays. Chelsea, Thomas Tuchel.
No, he's
Go next year.
At the moment, stays another year.
He's here for the rest of this. It's as simple as this. Tuchel stays for the remainder of the season, regardless if we're in the top 4 or not. He'll stay no matter what. Next season's the big one for him.
Crystal Palace, Roy Hodgson. Yes.
Roy's gone. He's gone.
Man needs to retire. He just needs to retire. He's been in the game a long time. And he can't, with Corona, he's at most at risk. He should be at home. And this is me just looking out for the poor lad. Like, he should have had his injection and he should have stayed at home because he can't be risked.
Yeah.
You need to get
I 100% agree with you. I think
they need to reform
it's
the way they play as well.
You need to get Hodgson and Warnock in the same room. You need to drop a meteor strike on them. Like, they need to be made extinct.
Everton, Carlo Ancelotti. I'm going to say that's a resounding no.
Can I say something?
Not.
He stays.
Can I say something? I still think Everton are underachieving this season. I think that performance against Fulham was an absolute disgrace for that team that they have. Like, you know, I know you have no fans, and I know home fans in the team.
Aye, but they're not going to get rid of Ancelotti though. They're not going to get rid of Ancelotti.
I'm not saying they're getting rid of Ancelotti. I'm just saying this season he should be doing far better than what the performances on the pitch. The performances on the pitch from them have not been good enough. Defensively, they are an absolute joke. Yes, it's not helped by not good centre backs or goalkeepers, but they're a sham. They're no better than Leeds at the back. I put it that way, bluntly. Even offensively, even attacking wise, they don't have the same that they did at the start of the season. So I think Ancelotti, unless he really starts to get things going, he is massively underachieved this season. He'll stay, but he's underachieved big time.
He does make a valid point there. It's a valid point there, and I agree. I mean, I remember the FA Cup games were last week, and we spoke about the FA Cup. We spoke about the FA Cup games, and I said that it was going to be a very exciting game between Everton and Spurs. I said it was going to be a high-scoring game. There would be no defensive performances from either team, and I was spot on. And it shows that how it's changed, but they have underachieved, but they're still a good side. They do need to change things up. They do need a better goalkeeper. They do need a world-class goalkeeper. They need a better centre-back because Michael Keane, I'm not convinced by him. He used to play for Man United, so I know a bit about that.
Yeah.
And midfield, there's something they need to change, but it's still a good overall team. There's just some things lacking. So, underachievement is a very fair comment.
That's always been the case with Everton. They always, well, if we had this, well, we had this, well, we have had this. And they've pretty much got as best a squad and manager as I can imagine. So they are underachieving again, but that's kind of par for the course at the moment. So I thought this year would be different, but it's not.
Yeah.
It's just the kind of curse of Everton at the moment.
I think they're getting there, though.
Okay, Fulham, Scott Parker.
No.
He'll stay.
He will stay.
He'll stay. Yeah.
Even if they get relegated.
Leeds, Marcelo Bielsa.
Sack
They're
him.
stupid
Defense
to sack
below
him.
where they are.
No, see. It would be a difference if they were to get relegated. He'd be gone. If they relegate, he would walk.
Yes.
But I actually could see him. I don't think he'll be sacked.
He'll walk.
I think he could walk because I don't think he'll be backed in the summer as much as he would want to, and we know he has a history of walking when the board doesn't back what he wants. So I agree. He won't be sacked, but I could see Bielsa walking out.
Leicester, Brendan Rodgers.
He ain't going anywhere. Unless Real Madrid or Barcelona come knocking on the door, he ain't going anywhere.
He'll stay.
No.
He's at the perfect club for him. I think Brendan Rodgers, like Leicester right now, I think that's the perfect club for him in terms of
Liverpool, Jurgen Klopp. I'm categorically saying this. Jurgen Klopp will be at Liverpool next season.
I 100% disagree with you.
He'll only walk. He'll only walk. He won't be sacked. But I can't see him.
I genuinely think Jurgen Klopp will go at the end of the season. I think it's starting to not work out. And the reason I think it's not going to work out is FSG have failed him, and also like the comments about him conceding the title, like that's something that any top manager you wouldn't expect to hear, especially from him. I think he's genuinely losing faith in some of this team, and I don't think he can turn that around. I think he will walk.
I disagree. I disagree. I think that press conference today shows he was willing to turn it around. He basically rubbish comments about him being basically saying that he was tired, that he needed a break. I honestly don't see it. Manchester.
Just to add to Reece's point, I understand what you mean by Jurgen Klopp's press conference, but no human being, no matter who you are, could go through what he's going through right now.
100%.
None of us here could understand or deal with the pain that Jurgen Klopp is dealing with mentally.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And him speaking about him conceding the title, he's just speaking from the heart because he's got so much more going on than outside of the football. I think Klopp will be here next season because one thing about Klopp, he's not managed to walk out because the board doesn't back him. He will work with the players he's got. He'll try to make things work. If things go south, he might offer his he might walk out on his own terms for the better of the club, but he'll not be gone. He'll be there next season. I think
you'll find out Klopp's future in June if Germany do not win Euro 2021. If Germany don't win the Euros, which I bloody hope they do, if Germany don't win it, Joachim Low is done, which he should have been gone after the 2016 World Cup anyway.
He should have been gone ages ago. Should have been gone ages ago.
You should have left
definitely
ages ago.
After the last World Cup, he should have gone.
Yeah, that was a terrible performance.
Manchester City, Pep Guardiola.
If they don't win the Champions League, Guardiola will. I think he will. I think he'll look somewhere else.
Why did he sign a 5-year contract this season then?
You can still sign a contract and still
no,
go. Manchester United, Solskjaer.
Ooh, if
Pains me to say it, he's going to stay.
If the finishers
who's available.
If the finishers in the top 4, I think it'll be gone.
I'm calling it now. Solskjaer gone, Nagelsmann at the end of the season. I can see it.
If United have been in such a good top 4 situation, if they don't finish in it now, and if they don't win the FA Cup or the Europa League, he has to go. 3 seasons without a trophy, and 2 very tight top 4 things. I hate to say, but that's just not good enough for Manchester United.
Well, I've already been clipped. Like I've already said, if Solskjaer goes, Nagelsmann's the only man that comes in for me. I couldn't give a shit who else gets the job.
Yeah.
I am still here.
I don't think he'll get sacked though. I don't think he'll get sacked. Like I think if he doesn't win a trophy, then there will be questions asked. But I don't think so. I think he might get another season, half a season, and then he'll be gone. But Nagelsmann's the only one for me that I would bring in. I don't see them getting like an Allegri or something like that. I don't see them doing that again.
While Dog is transitioning over to his charge, so that's what he's doing. What about Chris Wilder, Sheffield United?
He
I
stays.
see him going.
Remain.
I think he'll go.
No.
I think he'll go.
Where would he go? Where would he go?
He's staying.
A retirement
No
home.
way does he go.
He'll
No way.
He'll be determined. He'll be determined to get Sheffield United back in the Premier
He's
League.
another
He will
Dean
get them
Smith.
straight back up.
He's just another Dean Smith situation. He's at a perfect club for him. He's not going well, but he knows that club inside out. He's got backing from the owners. They know the squad that they've got isn't good enough, but he likes that club. He's not getting his tactics right, but it is what it is. And unless he won't walk, they will get rid of him. But it will be a big loss that they can't fill, in my opinion.
Yeah.
They have so badly underachieved this year.
I don't think so somehow because I could predict it. Imagine trying to get goals out of Oliver Burke and Ollie McBurney.
Yeah, completely.
You are not going to stay up with those two up front. Even with Brewster, he's been. Yeah,
if he's that good a manager, why the hell would you go from Dean Henderson to bloody Ramsdale?
The goalkeeper. They've downgraded goalkeeper. They haven't really had the back three hasn't been the same as last year. The midfield has no creativity and they've got no goal scoring strikers. That's a recipe for going down.
Yeah.
But that's not the question. The question is whether he goes down or not. The question is whether he gets made redundant or not. And I think that he doesn't get made redundant. Sorry, he doesn't. He still has a job regardless.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so very, very quickly, I just want a yes or no on this. Newcastle, Steve Bruce.
Gone.
Staying. She's staying. Yeah, because Ashley's crap, the management's crap, and he fits that perfectly.
Southampton, Ralph Hasenhüttl. I think he's gone.
Nah,
he'll stay.
I think if Spurs make the decision to scrap Mourinho, only if Spurs scrap Mourinho, I see Hasenhüttl going to Spurs, but I don't see that happening. So I see Hasenhüttl remain at Southampton, so he stays.
Okay. Tottenham Mourinho.
Stays.
Stay.
Yeah.
3-3.
Yeah, 3-3. Yeah.
Wow.
I think Mourinho gets one more season.
West Brom, Sam Allardyce, gone.
Absolutely.
Walks within 2 months.
He basically walks before he gets relegated. I don't think he's never been relegated as a manager, but it's obviously not worked for him at West Brom. David Moyes, West Ham?
Stays, absolutely.
He's found his club.
He's
found his new Everton. That's it.
They are finishing top 6. They are finishing top 6.
Finally, just before we finish, Nuno Espirito Santo Wolves.
I'm going to be bold.
It's been unfair for him this season. But I don't see him going.
Yeah, the thing watching them, they have no plan B. They play the same football week in, week out. They've been doing it for years. A lot like Solskjaer. He has one plan. If it fails, they fail. I think the Wolves board are going to go for something new. They'll bring in another young Portuguese manager, and I think Nuno will be gone.
I agree with Nathan. I do think that Wolves really, really need a new identity. They need a new style of play. They need a new formation. They need a new start. And I just think that's the direction I think they'll go in.
I think Nuno's got it in him to change things up. Bear in mind, his defense hasn't been great this year, and also he's lost perhaps the best striker outside the top 6 in Raul Jimenez.
7.
He's by.
He's better. Jimenez is better than Vardy.
I think they're totally different strikers. That's for sure. They're totally different. But I just think Jimenez, what he brings is they're totally different. I would love to see Vardy beside Jimenez as a front two. I think that would be, and I think that would be a nightmare's wet dream. It's just like a coincidence of a nightmare and dream together. I think it'd be that good.
Mm-hmm.
You have like Jimenez like holding the ball up, getting in play, like standing in the box. You go Vardy who can drift back, pick the ball up, and just run at you. Cunts would be running like hell. No one would cope. It would be perfection.
And the world came to an end. Kepa has just made a save. The world's over.
I'm shocked. Kepa's actually made a save.
That is a good way.
I honestly believe Nuno has got an opportunity to change things around because he's made some decent signings. He's still got a very strong core squad. Bear in mind he's got like say Raul He's got Raul Jimenez, who will come back from injury. I do expect that. You've got Neto, who I don't see going anywhere, even though he would be a perfect signing for anyone else in the league. Podence is coming into form. He's got Ruben Neves, who is a phenomenal central midfielder. He's still got Patricio in goals, who is also a good goalkeeper. He's not had a good season either, but he's still a good goalkeeper. They just need to work on a few things, but I don't see him going anywhere. No.
And on that note, we will end. Thank you very much to everyone who's obviously watched the podcast this evening. Thank you to the regulars, Josh, Nathan and Reece. And also a very big thank you to Neel for coming on from Beyond the 90. Can you just share your socials for everyone to go over and check?
Yeah, they've been up here in the top because I'm really professional and all that. No, but it's Beyond the 90 LCFC on all social medias. Thanks for checking us out. It's going to be an interesting season, hopefully, in terms of Premier League and hopefully Europa League as well. So, yeah, make sure to follow us and come along for the ride because it's going to be a special one. And, yeah, come join us and leave some comments. So we're really looking forward to it. Yeah, absolutely. Chanel's asking, are you doing a Twitch stream?
Yes, I am going live at 9:30. So,
right, cool. LCFC Boya, I've come to the conclusion Leicester City are a gargantuan football institution. And Rich Sports says quality podcast. Well, thank you very much, Rich. But yeah, we will be back with you next week at
and that
happy 1K, Doug.
What's that?
Happy 1K, mate.
Oh yeah.
Thank you.
After all that, we got to finish back on the same part that we started.
Yeah.
And,
just
everyone put happy 1K in the chat, guys.
Yeah.
Yep. And on that bombshell that someone has commented, Leicester City are a gargantuan football institution. Thanks for tuning in, folks.
And on that note, I will play the outro, yeah?
Yeah. See you later. Cheers, everyone.